Well, good morning, people. I'm going to start by ripping off somebody I know. Welcome to the most must-see show on YouTube and or Facebook. Welcome to Common Sense and the Golden Rule. I am your host, Professor X2K. Last week we talked about last week we talked about roommates. Right now, as you can see, I'm outside. I don't have that the luxury of having a set built. Of course, I had to go to the store and get coffee, so I'm sitting here taking a break. So while I'm taking that break, I figured I'd take that time to give you today's sermon. And the reason I say sermon is because what I say should hit you like that morning service that the preacher gives you. It looks like he's talking directly at you. Today, I think we are talking about relationships. I can't exactly say what we're talking about because, well, as you see, I'm kind of like walking around and I don't have my notes with me. So I got to do this on my own, so to speak. So with that being said, let me dive right in. A relationship is about, of course, well, depending on what you do, two people loving each other, caring for each other, looking after one another. The thing is, if you know your partner and or spouse, you should study them. And when I say study them, I mean really pay attention to what they're doing. There's a certain look they have when they're upset. There's a certain look they have when they're worried, when they're not feeling well. You should be able to pick up these things just by those senses. If it's kind of hard to explain what I'm talking about unless you go back, and there's a show called I think it's called Prelude to a Kiss. And in that show, this young lady's soul is swapped out with somebody else's. And the guy, her boyfriend, like I said, it's been a while since I've seen this. He notices every day he picks her up from work. And they walk down the same path. And there's this one of those little tree branches that hang down over there. There's a tree branch. Every day she goes down there, she'll jump up and she'll touch that tree branch, say some words, and keep going. So this one day they're going down there and she just ignores the whole tree. And the guy, out of habit, he stopped waiting for her to do that. She didn't do it. So he knew right then something was wrong and that wasn't her. So know your partner. Know their wants, know their needs. They always say, well, the common goal in each relationship is to make the other person happy. Is it that easy? Not in certain cases. I mean, there's a lot of factors to play in. Your significant other may suffer from depression, may be a bit bipolar. There's a lot of things you have to deal with. But depending on your patience and how much you love that person, you'll either stick in there and hang with them, help them out. And I mean, I've known friends of mine who had spouses or girlfriends, whatever, with substance abuse problems. And what they would do is like, look, you know what? If this is going to work, we, not you, we have to get you some help. And in doing that, it will help us. So, guys, in a relationship, I'm talking to you on this one, you got to treat your female like the queen that she is. Now, do all females deserve to be treated like queens? Everybody has a different opinion. If she is the kind of girl that would, hell, if she cuts your toenails, wash you in the tub, that's a keeper. But if she won't do shit for you, and it's all about me, 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 well, you know exactly what that relationship's about. Her and not you. A relationship is about us. You and me. You know, him and her. Not just him or not just her. Otherwise, in that case, you could be what's that old saying? You could do bad all by yourself? That can happen. Guys, gentlemen do exist. There are still some around. The ones that will open the car door for a woman, pull out her chair. When a woman enters the room, you stand until she sits down, and then once she sits down, you sit down then. There's actually a book of etiquette that people don't believe. There's a lot of things that gentlemen should do for women. And like, okay, there's this one show, yeah, you know I can watch a lot of TV. I think it was a basketball show or something. The guy pulls up to the girl's house. You don't honk the damn horn saying, hey, you up there? No, you get out of the car, go up to the door, and ask for the young lady. Then you bring her down to the car, open the car door, and let her in. Now this is where she reciprocates. When you're going back around to get in your side, if she leans over to unlock the door and pushes your door open, you got you a keeper. And you know, there's a lot to be said for relationships. A lot of times, one of the biggest problems is trust. And baggage comes into a relationship because of past relationships. This person won't trust you because the last 2 or 3 people they've been with has cheated on them and lied to them, stole from them. The list goes on and on. So what you have to do is you have to ease their conscience and let them know there is no reason for them to fear that you will do that, because you are that one in a million. Matter of fact, I make it a point that I want to be so good to my woman that when I die, there will be no one to ever, and I repeat, ever replace me. That's how good I want to treat my woman. That's how good I do treat my woman. And sometimes I say, man, what are you going to do when I die? That shuts the conversation down right then and there. The thing is, be that man or be that woman. The one that nobody else can, that standard no one else can live up to. That's the kind of boyfriend, girlfriend, and or spouse you want to be. Well, I think my 7 or 8 minutes is just about up. So I'm going to grab my coffee here and head back to the house. Until next time, people, this is Professor X2K saying, remember the golden rule, use common sense. Peace, I'm out.